Today we are editing a drone montage using the DJI Fly app on this iPhone 11. Now, having spent the last 10 years with Alina editing wedding videos, corporate videos, music videos, YouTube videos, online course materials, you name it, using a very expensive Apple MacBook Pro computer with expensive Final Cut Pro editing software, the idea of editing something good on a free piece of software like DJI Fly seems like a bit of a foreign concept, but I need to remind myself that one of the things that we actually teach at the end of our 8-hour drone cinematography masterclass, link in the description below, in the editing workshop that we give you, is that it's what you do with the editing software that counts. Much like creating great aerial cinematography, as you have seen with the MAVIC Mini, you can get stunning results with an inexpensive drone. The same can be said for your editing. We're talking about the placement of the cuts, using music effectively, nice simple transitions, and so on and so forth. So I am optimistic that we can get some good results. Let's jump on in. Just in case you didn't know, my name is Stewart and this is Drone Film Guide, the channel where we learn to fly like filmmakers. Thank you for joining us. Do go grab yourself a copy of our free ebook From Drone Zero to Drone Hero, 37 tips to get you flying like a filmmaker. It is a very enjoyable read and we will send you some other goodies as well. Right, so first things first, let's jump into this app. In one way, shape or form, you need to import some media onto your phone that you can then edit in the DJI Fly app. There's a couple of things to notice here. First of all, and very cool, is that the DJI Fly app is not just for MAVIC Mini footage. You can import any video files and photos for that matter into this. So you can mix and match if you like. Let's say some iPhone footage, ground footage that you want to mix with your MAVIC Mini footage. Very, very cool. Second of all, if we click on the album down here in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, and see up in the top there it says DJI Fly. Well, there's a little arrow pointing down, and that gives us all of our recent camera roll, and I've got some albums set up here. Edinburgh 2020, Insta361X, Insta361R, Lightroom. Click on those. I just wanted to show you those fancy photos of cars because I enjoyed doing those. And down at the bottom, if I go back into it, we have MAVIC Mini. Now in this instance, what I actually did is I have a MAVIC Mini folder on the computer and I airdropped those files straight onto the phone. That was how I made the transfer. You can also find ways of plugging in little adapters so you can directly copy from the memory card, or you can download from your MAVIC Mini onto your phone, although that's quite slow. But there are many ways of doing it, and it's nice the way that the app integrates with your camera roll and allows you to import all the various different types of media that you already have stored on your phone. Click on Create in the bottom right hand corner of the screen and you have the option of Templates or Pro. I'm going to come back to Templates later because they're actually quite cool, and it's something that you might just dismiss as rubbish, to be honest with you, at the start. But let's jump into Pro for now and let's just do a basic edit. Now, as you can see, we have our folder system again. We're going to stick with the MAVIC Mini folder here, and we have our 4 MAVIC Mini files. Let's select all of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can see them numbered. Top right hand corner of the screen, add 4. And boom, just like that, we have our 4 MAVIC Mini files on the timeline. Now we've got our clips on the timeline. You can zoom in there, but just by using the 2 fingers just to kind of stretch out the clips a little bit, and you can scrub through, as you can see, and it's really smooth the way you can look through the clips. Now we're going to trim these in a second and create a slightly more interesting edit than just the actual original clips on the timeline. But first things first, we created a video for the YouTube channel not that long ago talking about the key to editing a killer drone montage, and that key is editing to the music, finding a good punchy track and then editing to the beat of that music. So let me show you how to do that here. On the right hand side, tap the little musical note there, and then see it says tap to add music. Let's do just that. DJI has given us a selection of music here, and it's actually not too bad if I'm honest. Here, if we look at the very first one, Bionic Games, sounds like a decent punchy track that we can edit to. Let's tap Use. And there it is on the timeline underneath the video. Now you can see the waveform here, and as I was explaining in that other video, we're looking to try and find the beat, some good strong cuts to link the music with the video. It gives the viewer another reason to keep watching, just helps take you to the end of that piece of work. The way we did that with Final Cut Pro was to play the track and then put little markers where we felt the beats were and where appropriate cuts would be. Now it's as if DJI were watching that video when they created this app. if we tap on rhythm there, see the little drum kit, and we play the track, now where we feel the beat, there, tap that little drum box, circle I should say, boom, boom. And those little markers are added. Now I'll stop at that, I'll pause that, tap the tick. Look at those little circles now that are underneath the waveform of the music track. That's where we're going to make some cuts. By the way, you can also import your own music if you like, so you're not stuck with DJI's music. Now, as it happens, we have an affiliate relationship with Soundstripe.com. That's where we've been getting our music for years. Quite cheap, very expansive source of royalty-free music and sound effects for that matter. Definitely recommend you check that out. Link in the description below. Discount code if I'm not mistaken, and you can also save some money there. So now we have the foundation of our montage. Let's tap on the little trim box above that musical note and we'll go back in and sort out our clips. Taking this first clip as an example, let's find a piece that we want. Well, I quite like it from the start there, but I don't want the whole clip. So let's say we're going to scroll through to the fourth beat. Let's try that. Up in the top right there, there's a little cut button. We're going to do that. Tap the cut button. And to get rid of the end of the clip, we select the piece that we might thereafter get rid of. But we'll keep that just now. Let's see what we got there. We tap the little play button. Nice. Okay, I like that. Moving on to the next clip, let's have a quick skim through that. Now we don't want this piece where I'm looking at the drone and checking the controller, so we'll get rid of that. So let's start with this piece. Start there, make the cut, delete the first piece, and then let's go for 2 segments of the song. So we'll take advantage of the work we did previously on the track. We'll use those markers, zoom in a bit, make that cut there, delete the end piece. Okay, and let's see how that goes. Pretty sweet. The vast majority of cuts that you will make are these simple jumps from one clip to the next, and that's why you don't need any fancy transitions, any gimmicky transitions. So whether or not you're doing this on an expensive piece of software like Final Cut Pro 10 or Adobe's Premiere Pro, or whether or not you're doing it on a free piece of software like the DJI Fly app, it doesn't make any difference. The outcome is the same, and that is the beauty of smart, conscientious editing. That being said, sometimes it is nice to put a little transition in between clips, and the DJI Fly app has made it super easy. So if you look here at this little box with a diagonal line through it in between these 2 clips, this is what it currently looks like. No transition, just that simple jump cut. Now here we have the option of a dissolve transition. We use this one all the time. It's a nice, smooth, dreamy kind of feel to it when you have a dissolve transition. The other one that we use regularly if we're wanting to place a kind of chapter marker in between sections of a film is the fade to black, which we have 4 along here. There you have a fade to black and a fade from black. I like to use that, as I say, when you're trying to demarcate different sections of a film. So you don't use that very often. It's just like a chapter marker. We've got some good other ones here. This blur one I quite like. It's quite a cool one. This white one is okay. I'm not so fond of that. That's got a kind of flash type transition to it. And then we have a swipe transition as well, which I actually think is really quite cool because you can import photos here as well, and you can do these swipe transitions, which are really quite cool for photos. 2 other functions we use all the time with our professional editing are speeding things up and reversing footage. You want to speed clips up because sometimes they can be a bit long and a bit boring and no one wants to watch a 20-second drone shot. So speeding that clip up 2 or 4 times can be a great way of still retaining some natural movement, but getting more of that shot before your viewer's eyes. And the other tip that we give many times, and you'll have seen many times potentially on this channel, is reversing clips. So that allows you to start with the end point of your clip, so you have nice framing, nice composition, you fly away, knowing that you're going to reverse that clip in post, and that will settle the drone at this nice end point. Something we do all the time, and here it is an option in the DJI Fly app. So here we have pretty much 90% of the functionality that we use in Final Cut Pro 10. We're able to make our basic cuts, we're able to add music, we're able to mark that music so we can edit to that music. We have our cross dissolve and fade to black transitions. We can reverse our footage if we need to. And the other one, we can speed our clips up. All these things we do all the time. And as I say, that's 90% of our edit. To wrap things up, we have some nice titles that we can use. Tap on the big T button in the bottom right here, and we've got some pretty sweet options here actually. If we click on this one, double click on that title and you can type in whatever you want. So let's call it amazing. That's the only word that would go through my head there. Right, amazing, that's the name of our title. And it goes at the beginning here. You have the beginning, end, and you can put it throughout as well, always as they call it here. And we also have some nice color grading options as well. So we can go through our presets here and just play around with different colors. And I think this is a really nice simple way of just adding a look to your footage. If you think the look's a bit strong, tap on that same preset and you can dial in a different amount here, as you can see. I quite like this one, kind of faded shadows, bit of a kind of sepia feel to it. So let's just put that one on for now. Also, within every clip you can make some color corrections. So tap on the tone button there, second from the top, and you can see we've got brightness, contrast, saturation, temperature, so that's your white balance, vignette, and sharpen. Let's say for the sake of argument, all your footage you felt was a little bit flat, but you didn't want to have to do this with every single clip. So let's say you wanted to have that kind of look. I think that's a bit much if you ask me, but we want to turn saturation all the way to the top and you want to put it across, click apply to all. Otherwise just tap the little tick button on the far right hand side. When you're done, the export button is in the top right hand corner of the screen. Select 1080p and continue and you are good to go. I said at the start we'd take a quick look at these templates, so let's do that now. Now, typically I would just dismiss all of this as gimmicky rubbish, but I'm really kind of getting into it. I'm embracing this kind of social media idea, and just being able to do things there on your phone and get it uploaded quickly to your Instagram or whatever is actually very, very practical. Carrying around a big computer is not always the best way of doing things. So if you scroll through these, look at this, for example, afternoon. See that it says 4 shot 10 seconds. So this is going to make a 10-second film for us, and it needs 4 shots to do that. So we'll do that, tap on afternoon, and then tap on apply. And we're going to click on our 4 shots. Now you can click these in order. So if I undo those, and there, that's the 3rd clip, and there, this is the 4th clip. And we add those 4 clips. Now take a look at this. It's made a really cool short clip for us already, editing it together. I don't speak Chinese, so I don't know what's going on there if I'm honest, but you get the idea. But the arrangement of those clips wasn't perfect, so let's pause that. At the bottom there, we've got those 4 clips, 1.3 seconds, 1.6 seconds, 2.6 seconds, and 4.3 seconds. So we know what we need in every single box there. Tap on the first box. Now this is the bit that they've used. I don't really like that. Let's scroll forward and let's take a different chunk. Oh, I like that bit. Look at that with the sun flare. I quite like that. That's nice. Okay, let's use that piece. We'll keep that piece. Tick. What have we got here? Again, that's not a good piece, is it? So let's scroll forward in the clip and find a much better piece. We can do better than that. Oh, I like something like that. There's a lot more motion in that. The shadow's really dramatic as well. Good. On this piece, again, we don't want this very beginning. Let's go with something in the middle of the clip, and at the end there, let's scroll forward because we don't want all this nonsense at the start. We actually want a good piece of the clip. Take something like that. Okay, and let's see what we've got. Okay, that's a bit more like it. So there you have it, the DJI Fly app, worth taking a look at. If you really want to get into your editing, at the end of our 8-hour drone cinematography masterclass, we have an editing workshop and we really get into this in quite a lot of detail. It's not editing software specific, it's concept specific, and we teach you how to think like an editor in the same way that we teach you how to fly like a filmmaker throughout the course of that masterclass. Don't forget to grab yourself a copy of our free ebook to get you started from Drone Zero to Drone Hero, 37 tips to get you flying like a filmmaker. Check out the links in our description below to the likes of our Soundstripe affiliate deal if you want to get some good music for your edits. Don't forget to subscribe. Oh my goodness, there's so many things to mention, and we will see you next time here on Drone Film Guide.